Are you a team player? Isn't it hilarious that we used to think the Earth is flat? Yeah, that's a little funny. Let me ask you a question. Sure. Do you think the individuals who thought the Earth was flat were lying? No, of course not. Then what were they doing? They were operating within the information that they had present at the time. I'm sure that was the case. They weren't lying, they were just doing their best with the data they had. The question is, how well are we doing with the data that we have? Imagine a pinky. The pinky sees the index finger, middle finger, ring finger, and thumb and thinks, look at all those other fingers. My competition. I don't like those fingers. Then a magic genie comes to the pinky and says, you're not supposed to hate those other fingers, silly. The pinky furiously asks why. The genie now gives the pinky perspective. The genie shows the pinky the entire palm that all the other fingers reside in. Suddenly, the pinky feels ashamed for its actions. It realizes that the other fingers were not its enemy. The other fingers plus the pinky make up the palm. But there's another problem. What? Well, now all the other fingers on the palm are hating on the elbow. They think, what's up with this bum-ass elbow? What's its deal? So the genie comes back again and gives all the fingers perspective to realize that the elbow is no different than them. The elbow and the palm help make up the arm. But now the arm has a bone to pick with the chest. You can already see where this story is going. When we have limited perspective, we have limited range of motions. It's not like hating is a bad thing. Before identifying anything as bad, we should ask why it exists. Hating exists because someone is operating from a lower paradigm. Their perspective is limited, like the pinky's was. Once the pinky zooms all the way out and sees that it's part of this big human, now there's going to be a sense of humility for the pinky. Humility does not equate to being a pushover. That's the mainstream narrative that's typically pushed by other pinkies. Humility comes down to weighing ourselves in relation to a larger picture. Once the pinky realizes it's just part of the human, it realizes its role in the entire complex system. Being a team player comes down to learning our role. This is mega key. We can see this example carried out in so many facets of life. I love to give the car example. It's because a car is an extension of us. We drive it seamlessly like we brush our teeth. Hopefully, the steering wheel knows its role. Hopefully, the brake knows its role. What I don't want is the steering wheel acting like the brake and the brake acting like the steering wheel. All this ties into teamwork because it comes down to a matter of perspective. When working in a team, we become the pinky in terms of the palm. The sense of individuality isn't limited. However, it is a game of putting that sense of individuality into perspective. Eliminating the sense of individuality completely can lead to a lackadaisical attitude. Some people like that. Some people want to transcend suffering. However, others want to transcend suffering, then attain truth. The larger system gave us a personality for a reason. Anything in nature that existed for 5,000 plus years, arbitrary number, is not something that is harming the overall complex system. Individual personalities are needed. That needs to be protected. The team player comes down to having that same mindset for others. It comes down to respecting other personalities as well. Great leaders have the ability to not personalize. Personalities are a field of forces dancing with one another. Personalities were formed through years and years of experiences. Therefore, when working in a team that has a disagreement, the small-time thinker only notices the disagreement and weighs the entire person on that act. The leader is like, I think I'm only getting a fragment of this person. Let me try to work it out with them. Being a team player is part of the game. However, I have the philosophy that we need to be strategic on when we want to play in a team. There's a time and a place. Some acts are better done solo. My philosophy is lone wolf when creating, social butterfly when marketing. It's a game of changing hats when need be. If you struggle to be a team player, it comes down to evaluating, is this a task that I should be doing solo? Or am I acting like that arrogant pinky? These two questions will give more insights than you can imagine. These two questions will walk you from the bridge of being a follower to gradually blossoming into a leader.